Hello and welcome to this first week's check-in video. Hopefully you had 4 days in the course, and it looks like we're definitely getting visits on the course. So I can kind of see your guys' engagement, how many people visit. Well, it doesn't count the same person twice, but I can see when you guys visits, and I can go into and see how much time you spend in D2L on specific topics. So that tells me how much you're engaging in the course. Um, for a regular 3 credit course um, during a regular semester, you'd probably give yourself um, 9 hours a week to do the course material. Dedicate that 9 hours. Well, that's like minimum. Um, 9 hours per 3 credit course. Of course, it'd be if you took a 4 credit course like CNG 120, you give yourself a minimum of at least 12 hours for that course to get all this stuff done. In the summertime, since we're 2/3 of the time, you'd bump that. I'd say you probably would multiply a credit by about at least 4 hours minimum. So we're looking at least 12 hours a week to this course. That would include like reading, doing the work, etc. So make sure you develop a plan um, to a regiment to do this course. Say, you know what, 12 hours, I'm going to work 6 hours, I don't know, Monday, and 6 hours Thursday. That way you're meeting the first guidelines of posting your discussion videos early, and then you're responding to everything when everybody else has posted their discussions also. So definitely come up with some sort of plan, or maybe you just do a couple hours every day in this course, so you make sure you're getting it all. First email I saw come through. Is there also a book? No, you guys, as soon as you sign up for the course, you have a book. The ISOs are on the front page of this course. So right here, I have one from the Google Drive and then one from Student Access Drive, and they both should take you to the ISO for my OneDrive. I shared everything, but okay. Don't delete anything. Make sure you just download the Windows 10. Once again, you see a lot of files in there, but that's all you want is the EN Windows 10 Education 64. Do you need a key for it? No. In our cases, you will not need a key for it because it's only a virtual machine. If you no longer can use the virtual machine, basically you just trash it and create another virtual machine and start using the new one. Get in the habit of creating virtual machines and trashing them because they're really just sometimes it can be one-off, sometimes they cannot. Transcender 180-day access. So let's go here, front range. We'll look at this together. And if they don't have it, we'll have to do a little adjustment to the course. But as far as I know, they should have it. 180. $180 Wow, it looks like they don't have it listed for summer. Didn't know that. Okay. So for the Transcender part, maybe we won't be able to do that. Basically, that's just certification preparation that we use in this class to boost your test scores, so you have that option to boost those test scores. I'll make some calls today and see what's going on at the bookstore and see why they're not listed. But that's what we use it. Once you get out of this course, you're going to be learning a lot. Covering that software rehearsal material is going to help all this information stick into your head, so it prepares you for that CompTIA Security Plus certification. Hopefully you're working through chapter 1, or hopefully you work through chapter 1. Hopefully you're starting chapter 2. What I wanted to get into today was the extra credit. Scroll down here. So first extra credit you want to dive into, find me on the internet. You know, a lot of reconnaissance on the internet from attackers can be done. I mean, you can find people posting pictures of their ID badges at work. You know, that's a horrible thing to do, because if you take the picture with a high definition camera, which most of us have, you can just blow up the picture to get your specific work entry key. That's not the password to get in the building, but you know, you're giving somebody more information on the internet. So feel free, find me on the internet, Google search, Bing, GoDuck, anything will work. Let's see, social engineering. Since you're learning about social engineering this weekend for extra credit, make sure to go out and social engineer. It's not too hard, and I'll show you an easy step for this. Top 5 security questions. What are the most common? So here we go. The most common security questions. Here's what I'm looking at. What's your favorite book? What's the name of the road you grew up on? You know, just having these in your head while you go talk to someone. I know, well, especially now during COVID, I know who you're going to talk to, since it's a lot different. Maybe you talk to your mom on the phone, you know, or an aunt, or call up somebody that you usually talk to rarely. But definitely give this a try. If you do run into a stranger, that would be the best method. You just start up a conversation. Like if I went to the dog park, you know, and I saw a person with another dog, I would approach them and say, "Oh, that's a great looking dog." Start up a conversation with them and say, "Hey, you know what? This is my favorite kind of dog. I grew up with this dog." And they probably respond back with their favorite dog, or the dog they grew up with. Very, very easy to do. Usually during the spring semester, this scenario is the most successful, because we have the Super Bowl in late January, early February, and people let their guards down when they're out in the community, and you just see how easily this was really impacted. The first company you worked for, where did you meet your spouse? Where did you go to school or college? And that one, you know, you can say, "Hey, aren't you so-and-so?" And they're like, "No, didn't you?" And then you follow up once again, very easily. "Didn't you go to Front Range Community College?" And that person can be like, "No, I went to Red Rocks Community College." Very, very easy to do, to get information. That is a security question to that. Hopping into week 1 discussion. Make sure locking up your bike. Make sure you get those week 1 discussions done. Remember, they are due by Wednesday. My internet always does this for some reason. They're due by Wednesday, 11:59 p.m. Make sure to get those done. Remember that they don't depend on reading. Some of them are self-reflections, so you'll have to put a self-case in there if you don't read the content, but that's fine. You go ahead and get to that. And I think that is it. If you have any issues, so here I got rid of Oracle Box. So once you download VM Workstation Player, no, I don't want to do this. Once you download VM Workstation Player, basically it opens up like this. Same with Oracle Box. If you need a video walkthrough, there's tons on YouTube. Once again, a quick search will show you all this step-by-step information on how to open a virtual machine. But basically, you want to, since you're downloading ISOs from my links, make sure to just say create new virtual machine, and it's going to say, okay, where do you want to pull the ISO from? So as you can see here, it says users Google OneDrive, George, Windows 10. I'll click next. I don't have a product key. Full name George. That's for the user. Of course, you can put student. If you want a password, make sure you remember the password. I usually sometimes I type one in, but it doesn't show you. You can also add a password later if you feel like. But remember, this is only an instance machine. We're only going to use in this class. And then Windows 10, summer 20. Next. 50, 60 gigabytes. So this is telling me that the hard drive itself will be 60 gigabytes large. You can split it. It helps making it move around, but we're not going to move it around at all. We're going to store a quick review of the computer that we are making. 60 gigabyte hard drive, 2 gigs of RAM, and that's enough to just run the OS basically. 2 CPU cores. Once again, this virtual machine is sharing oops, I want to go right click on that. This virtual machine is sharing my PC's hardware. So this is my PC, 32 gigabytes of RAM. I think it has 6 cores. 6 cores, I don't know. I forget. But it definitely has enough resources to support that that computer. I click finish here, and then it starts to create the virtual machine. Once again, when you want to show me the lab, the following VMware tools. Download and install. For the lab process, I just want to see that you are in a virtual machine, logged in, ready to go. You don't have to show me anything more than that. Basically, as soon as it goes to Windows and you show me the Windows desktop, do a snippet tool and take a snip of it. You can do a screenshot, anything you want. If you do a screenshot, make sure that it is the local screen. You guys are seeing half of my ultra wide. I have another ultra wide to the side of it, so you're seeing 1/4 of my desktop. And I don't want to see your entire desktop. I just want to see the material that has to do with the labs. And here's the Windows 10 still installing. And that's really it for this check-in video. Once again, if you have any questions, hop in that Google Hangout. Let me know. I will delete this check-in here and put in the new check-in. I will call the bookstore today, hopefully get an answer on those. I know this is really a new time since everyone's kind of dealing with COVID-19 and trying to figure out everything out with everyone also working from remote locations. But if you have any questions, once again, email. I try my best to hop into D2L at least once a day. My front range email, I do my best to log into that a couple times a week. But if you're looking to get a hold of me, or if you have any questions, just ask in that Google Hangout chat. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We're all here to learn. And that's probably the best way. If you have that question, once again, somebody else has that question also. You guys have a great weekend. Reach out to me if you need help, and I'll do the best I can to help you.